Okay. Hello everyone. This is Sonia with Stamping Around the Dining Room Table. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. If you do not have a demonstrator and would like one, I would be happy to be yours. You can reach out to me here, or you can go over to my Facebook page, Stamping Around the Dining Room Table, and you can leave a message there or private message me, and I would be happy to get you catalogs if that's something that you're interested in. If you just want to go and see what we do have and even just order online, you can do that by going to my website, stampingroundthediningroomtable.net. If you would like to be part of my team, I would be happy to have you join my team. There are some perks to being a demonstrator, and that includes getting some products for a discount. So anything like that, you can leave a message or question here, or you can go, as I said, over to my Facebook page and even private message me through that. Okay, so today is Wednesday, February 24th, and my plan today is to share with you this month's Paper Pumpkin. Paper Pumpkin, and I'll just bring this out right here. Paper Pumpkin is a subscription that comes once a month, around the middle of the month or so, and it's $22 plus tax. Shipping's included in that $22. And they always send you, in the kit, you have more than enough stuff to make the projects that they suggest, plus there's always extras left over. They do give you some information about what colors coordinate, things like that, so that you can add to it if you would like. This was in the box just letting us know that next month, in addition to the regular kit, they're going to include these stencils and a Stampin' Sponge. That's all free, no extra charge for that. And on this side, they're just showing you that this set does coordinate with some paper that you can get from our celebration. Celebration is going on right now. It ends on Sunday. Sunday's the last day that you can order. Our celebration is where for every $50 you spend from either our mini catalog here or our annual catalog, you can choose something from this catalog. There are 2 items in here that you have to spend $100 to get, but everything else is just for $50. You can get that. And if you buy like a stamp set, and some people also buy dies, that's pretty, by the time you get just a few items like that, it's pretty close to $50. Their stamp sets and dies are very reasonably priced compared to what you might find other places. So anyway, so this would be something to take advantage of. Okay, I am going to be using, along with this month's Paper Pumpkin, I'm going to be using 2 stamp sets. One is from the celebration. It's on page 9. It's called Heal Your Heart. And I'll be showing that closer in a moment. The other comes from our mini catalog, and that is on page 28, and it's called Happy Thoughts. Okay, so we'll look at that a little closer in a moment. The other things I would like to mention is that let me just put this up here. Here is our Paper Pumpkin kit for next month. You can see the box is a little bit fancier next month. It does have supplies to make 8 cards, and it's going to be like a nature theme. There's some clouds, there's some mountains, things like that. Okay. So one moment here. This is like, okay. I was watching. Okay, I just want to make sure I had the wrong thing up on my computer. So anyway, The other thing I wanted to point out was our butterfly bouquet. This is something that you can order March 2nd, which is next Tuesday. And if it's something that you're interested in, it does have stamp sets and dies that of butterflies. It also has some paper. Okay. The paper only lasts until it'll be on by when the new catalog or annual catalog comes in May, but these are going to be in the May catalog, the annual catalog. So if you're interested in the paper, make sure that you get that soon, you know, as soon as you can, because sometimes things run out before before the end of the time. So, but you'll have plenty. So for March and April, most of April, you should be in pretty good shape for that. Okay, so that's what we have there. Now, the colors, on the back of this is showing it shows what they suggest then, plus some alternatives. It also has what's included here and the coordinating colors. Inside, it does give you directions, and there's some tips, okay? So, the colors that coordinate with this month is Basic Black, Just Jade, Mossy Meadow, Mary Merlot, Rococo Rose, and Bumblebee. And one of the things that they do point out here, as I mentioned, was the paper in the celebration, and I forgot to show you. That's on page 10, and it shows the paper there. So if you spend $50, you can get that paper free. All right, so I'll show you the paper here. There are 12 sheets in a pack, and there are 6 flower designs. Now so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But they're double-sided paper, so there's different on the back. These happen to be like a herringbone, polka dots, another polka dot, some greenery. This green that has kind of like little tulip shapes almost on it, and then this stripe. So I really did like this paper pack. It's been a lot of fun to work with. So, okay. So I thought I would start. I will just show you once again. These are what they suggest. And you can see from here, let me bring it down here a little bit so you can see it better. They do have the gold doily. They have this Thinking of You. It's a sticker. And and that's in black. They've got this vellum paper that's on. And then you can also see like some of the flowers. These flowers, those are all die cuts. And then there's also these little strips come on. That yellow strip comes with the die cuts. And then we have this type of a tag and that type to put your sentiments on. Okay. So I did copy those just so people could see what they really look like. A little bit better picture. So here are those right there. Okay, I'll put them like this. So those are the 3 that I did. Okay, then yesterday I introduced this set on my Facebook page. I go do a Facebook Live on Tuesday mornings at 10:45 and at 1:45 on Fridays, and I put this together just showing them an alternative. And I used the this one card base is just this color. I've got them right here. Let me just pull those out so you can see. So this is one of the card. So you get 3 of each of these card bases. Okay. So in this instance, I used this card base, and then I used I did use this color, the Mary Merlot, under it. Now, I happen to have it in cardstock, but if you wanted, you could cut this apart, and you're going to see in a little bit that I did cut a card apart, and I'll show you some different things with that. But you could have used that, and then this is the paper front, one of the pieces of paper from that set of paper pack that they were saying coordinates. And then I put the words on some Mary Merlot, and I decided I wanted just a little black around it and raised it up with dimensionals just to give it a little more, just so that give it a little more presence. And then the thinking of you was so dark. At my sister's suggestion, I ended up putting some Wink of Stella on it, and I hope that's coming through well for you. For me, it does show up pretty well here, and what a difference that made. And then on this one, I used the Artistry Bloom sequins. They are found in our annual catalog. And I realized that the colors from there do match well with the different colors in this kit. Okay, so what I wanted to do now with you was to show you some alternatives. Before I do that, I do want to show, I'm sorry, jumping around here a little. I wanted you to see, this is the stamps that come in the set. A bouquet of flowers, which you can either just do that way, or you could color in using colored pencils. We do have blends as well as regular markers that you could use to color that in. Then there's also these little flowers and a couple of leaves, 2 different sizes. Here I put the flowers down and the leaves there as well. The sentiments in this are sharing in your sorrow, thinking of you, and wishing I could be there to hold your hand. It's a sorry for your loss, and I'll always be here for you. So this really was kind of focusing on sympathy. And so because of that, that's partly why I decided I would bring Heal Your Heart in. We're in this together. I can't promise to always fix your problems, but I can promise you won't ever face them alone. Sorry for your loss. I don't know what I would do without you. Wishing I could heal your heart, and thank you. So, there are kind of a few different things in there. It's not only sympathy, but, I just thought that would give us something a little different sentiments. Then I thought, maybe instead of doing a bunch of sympathy cards, I might want to do a few that were a little more lighthearted. Yes, we need sympathy cards, but there's some other things I thought that we could use. And so this Happy Thoughts is found in our mini catalog, as I showed you. I believe I showed you that earlier. What it says in here is, today is great because it's all about you, the great person you are, the great things that you do. And then there's congratulations. And then just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way. Thank you. Also, the little things you do so well and so often make a big difference to so many people. Happy birthday, and thinking of you. So, okay, I've got 2 cards that I did put together alternates. And this one, I ended up, let me just grab that, put them back so they were out of my way. This one, what I ended up doing was, because there is a crease in these, so that you can fold them, and you can take your bone folder. If you don't have a bone folder, we do sell them. They're very reasonable. They're very handy. And then what I did was I cut off about 2 inches, I believe it was, from this side. Let me make sure I'm telling you correctly. I think that was 2 inches. Yes. So I cut off 2 inches. And then I took a piece of our Just Jade cardstock, and I decided I wanted to use a piece. Before I get to the cardstock, I just wanted to use a piece of the paper from the paper set I showed you, and but it's a little thinner, and I wanted to give it a little more substance, so I took, and I wanted a little bit of the Just Jade to show over there, so I took a piece of Just Jade, and that goes just to the edge of where the designer series paper ends. So that is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Now these are all 4 1/4. Once they're folded, the front is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So this is 5 1/4 right here. So it's just a little bit less. And what I wanted to do was, I lined this up. I made this a little bit wider than this piece. So this piece is 3 inches by 5 1/4. This piece was 3 3/4. So you have about 3/4 of an inch showing here. And so I lined this up over on the right side, top and bottom. And then this little piece over, I brought it over here so that and then how I lined it up here, if you look right along it, there, and there, that's all pretty. I didn't measure it, I eyeballed it. That looks pretty close to being the same amount all the way around. Okay, so that's what I did for the front. Then on the inside, because I did want that over there and I didn't want just white behind it, I took another piece of the cardstock. I'm just trying to remember if I did. Can't remember. Did it earlier. Oh yeah, okay, so I did. This piece, this goes all the way over. So that is 3 1/4 by 5 1/2. And this is 2 by 5 1/2. Now if I wanted, I didn't necessarily have to bring the Just Jade all the way over. I could have brought it over just, a little bit and just had this just go over the edge. But I did it this way today. And this way, then, it does give that edge around there. I could have brought this all the way over. I could have made these pieces go, the whole 5 1/2. It's just something a little different. And here, then, it does give you a little more interest by having these colors in there. And then you can see I just used the happy birthday from the Happy Thoughts here, and I used one of the die cuts that they gave us just to make that a little fancier. On the front, I did use the Thinking of You from here, and I used our tailored tag punch to cut that out. Okay. And then I decided that I wanted to use the sequins on here. Once again, are from the Artistry Blooms, and I will show you those because they do have some pretty colors. Kind of these pinky reddish ones. This maybe is a little more red or orangey, the yellow, and these kind of bluish green. So these I thought went really well with this, with the Just Jade, so I used those. And then like earlier, I had used some of these other colors. I used this color on one of my cards. On this card, this was the color I used. Okay, so you can see they go pretty well together. Okay, so then I decided I wanted a little bit of ribbon, and I debated what do I want, because I didn't have any like Just Jade. And then I remembered I had this black ribbon, and it's got silver on it, but I wanted to tone down the silver and give it just a little bit of a green cast, which I don't know how well that shows up on camera. But I used we have what we call blends, and there's a light and a dark. They're alcohol markers, and I used the dark Just Jade, and I just set this down on a piece of paper and just ran it over it, both sides. And then I cut it out, then I made a bow out of it and stuck it on there. So it doesn't shout green, but when you see it up close, you really can see. And let me just show you here a minute. Maybe. So of course. I didn't think I should have had this out. I don't know if you can see the difference now. Because there's the silver, and then there's a little more green compared to the silver. We have some white here, maybe we can put under it. I don't know whether you can see it any better there. Maybe a little bit. Okay, So I had done that before with some other colors to, like I wanted it to look gold one time instead of silver. I've used a few different colors on there. So that is something, and it just gives it a subtle difference. Okay, and I did pop this greeting up using our dimensionals. So it gives it a little, you can see there, it gives it a little bit of height. Okay, the other alternative I made was I decided I wanted to do something with a little different using this vellum sheet. And we do have some strips of double-sided, and it's got a little bit of thickness to it, double-sided adhesive. And we have one that's like more like a black, so that you can actually, it works with dies. You can cut out shapes with it, or we also have some that are just strips. And I without thinking, I put it on, and then I realized, oh my gosh, it shows through. And actually, you can see a little bit. I didn't get that lined up quite right there with the ribbon. You can see just a smidge of the white there that shows through. And I was like, well, I'm not going to, and once it's on, it's on. It doesn't want to come off. So I said, okay. I had this gold ribbon. I'll just put that around so I put it one, like around the long way and then the short way, glued it on the back. I thought about trying to have them long enough to do a bow, and it just really wasn't turning out well. So I ended up making individual bows to put on the corners, and this one doesn't want to. I just realized that one was a little loose, but anyway, so I just put those on the corners, and then I used these gold no, they're not called sequins, they're called gold glitter dots. Okay, and then I used our Thinking of You, the sticker that came in with this. And then on the inside, it's a little, now this is kind of, a little bit more glitzy, and then the inside's a little more fun. This is the back of one of the papers here. The pretty flowers on that side, that's on the back. And goes with the bumblebee. So I used some black and then bumblebee here. I stamped the sentiment here, and then I took, the sentiment was from here also, just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way. And then I used this, and I stamped it in bumblebee, and then I stamped it off on a scrap piece and then put it on there just so it was lighter. Okay, it's a little harder to see than some because it's just all outline, but I actually kind of like the way that turned out. Something different. This is not something, it's not like my ordinary type of card. This one for me was a little bit out of my comfort zone. So, okay. So those are the things that I made ahead of time to share with you today. And now I'm going to do another alternative with using the things from the paper pumpkin kit. I decided this one, I took this card, you can see where that is, I cut that along there, and then I decided I wanted to have the front be a little bit shorter than the back. So this is the same size card. Like this is, I'll pull this up so that I can show you what I'm talking about. Most cards in the United States are this size, especially when it comes to card making. And when it's folded, the width is 4 1/4, the length is 5 1/2. Okay, so this is like the size of half a cardstock. The regular size for cardstock is 8 1/2 by 11. So it's 8 1/2 this way and 11 this way. So if you cut it at 5 1/2, that gives you 2, and then you can score it at 4 1/4, and then you can get 2 cards out of it. The other way is that you can have it open this way. So if it opens that way, you're going to cut it the other direction. So it's still half a piece of cardstock, but you cut it at 4 1/4, so you have 2 4 1/4, and then you score it at 5 1/2. And that's what I did, and then just trimmed off about a 1/2 inch here. Yeah. Okay, so now it's more like 5 by 4 1/4 here. And so I also then trimmed off the bottom of this. All right, so what I'm going to do is put this on the front, and I and it might be just a smidge bigger, and if it is, I can trim it off, but it's better to have it a little bit bigger. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this so that I get it. So there's where it, okay, so side to side it's pretty good. It is a little bit smaller, so a little later I will trim that off with my paper trimmer. I'm not going to take the time to do that now. So that is going to be the front, and then the back of it, which was this color, I'm going to put on the inside, and I'm going to make sure the bottom and sides line up well. So I'll show you that. Now, I'm turning it around for me just so that I can kind of see a little better. At least I hope I can see a little better. Put on the yellow. Okay, this is over just a little. I didn't get that on there quite right. Maybe try it where I see the yellow underneath it so I can see the white better. Well, I think that's the best I'm going to get it. Okay, there might be a smidge of white around the edges, but that's good. And then this piece that I cut off, I decided I'm just going to put it up here on top. It's a silicone mat, which I didn't get it out yet, but I should have. I usually use this underneath me when I'm gluing, just because I don't want to get it all over my paper underneath so that it will catch whatever I'm working on and maybe rip it. So that will go there, that will go there. Then I want, on the front of this one, I am going to have it be a little bit more. All right, wait a second here, what's going on? All right, this one I did want to have, use this one. And on here I want to say, sorry for your loss. Okay, so, and I tried I tried both the Mary Merlot and the Rococo Rose with like a scrap piece, and I decided I liked the lighter color just a little bit better. So I'm going to do this. Hopefully I got that. Oh, I made a mess. I'm going to turn it over and try again. I must have got some on the edge here. Wait a second. I'm going to clean that off a little bit. Okay, try this again. Good thing we have two sides to our paper. There, that's better. Sorry for your loss. I'm going to put that aside for a moment. And I'm going to have this piece on the inside, and on here I'm going to say, wishing I could heal your heart. Hopefully that's, and this I'm going to put it down just a little from the top. Hopefully that, oh, got a little bit. Let me try again. I think I moved it. So I got a little bit. Turn it just a little and make sure my words are straight on there. There, that's better. Sometimes if it rocks a little bit, you'll get those stray marks. Okay, so then I decided I could just do just this, but I wanted to give it a little more presence, so I'm going to put it on here, which it does take up almost the whole front, but that's okay. And I'm going to I'm just trying to center it pretty much on there. And then I'm going to use dimensionals. I'm going to pop this up. So put one on each end, and I think one in the middle should do it. Remove all these little papers. Protect it. There. Let's put that upside down. That would not be good. And, oh, I don't know that that's quite straight. Let me try that again. Ooh, stuck in before I'm ready. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Now, whoop. All right, I gotta play with this after it pulled out. Doesn't usually do that, so I'm not sure what that's about. Sorry for your loss. I'm going to put this on the inside. Oh, I don't know where that mark came from. Probably from my finger. Anyway, you know what though? I was thinking about putting some flowers in here of some kind. So if I do this, or do I like this better? I mean, I can stamp in here also. I just thought that gives it a little more color. So I think I'm going to just do that. Do I like it better this way? Maybe like that, and maybe this one down here. Adds a little more color than if I, especially because I don't want to be, I mean, if I wanted, I could color in with my, again, with my pens or my markers, but I think I really want it. Aha, I must have some on my finger because I just got another there that was not there a moment ago. All right. And then on the outside, I was thinking that I wanted some ribbon. And I thought I had brought down some ribbon, but I do not see any. Maybe I'll just try this. Just to see. I'm not sure if I'm going to like this black on it, but I mean, black obviously goes with just about everything, so it's a basic color. It's basic classic color, so that could go like that. I think he's going to do that for now. Where's my scissors? Right here. It could go there, it could go over here. I'm going to put it over there. And let me just fuss with this a little. And I usually use, when I put a bow on, I usually use a couple of glue dots just to make sure that I've got it. Come on, there. Anchored pretty well. So I'll put that right kind of there on the corner. And I think I'm going to trim this down, this side down just a smidge, not much. So there's that. And then, let me see. Got a few different things here I could use. I think this is gonna, that might be too light, but it does match those. Or do I want maybe these? Those might get lost. Let me just see. This is one of the things, a lot of times I change my mind. I start out, oh, the other thing I could use, if I can find them here, is my, I have white pearls also. So there's those. Now let me just see. Somewhere here I've got rhinestones, rhinestone basic jewels. And I should have had them closer to hand. And they're right here. I just got it in my little box. I just got to find them. Things got rearranged recently, and all right, I guess I'm not going to find those right now. So this is like the lighter pink. So let me just try that, because there are some light pink in there. I can get a hold of it. Put one there. And one more thing. It doesn't stick to its, and right there. Let me just see if I like the white any better. Which I might, just because it might stand out a little more, especially against this, because they're kind of fading into the background. Yeah, I think I like that better. Even on here, I think I might like it better. You know, that's the thing, I guess. It's like every time, you never know until you really try what you're going to like. There. I think I like that a little better. I don't know. When I find my, the rhinestones, I may just try those to see if I do like them any better on there. It'd be a little bit more glitzy. And sometimes we like a little more glitz on our stuff. And it would might go a little better with the ribbon. So anyway, so what I plan to do is on Friday, after my other Facebook Live and on my Facebook page, I plan to take some stills of the cards from this week, and if I decide to change it, you would be able to see it on there. But really, it's whatever you want. There's no real right or wrong. You know, it's what you like. You might not like some of the things I did. You might think, oh, I would have done it this way or that way. It's what, you know, everybody is different in what they want, what they like. And that's one of the nice things about when you make cards, you can do it the way you like. And it's just part of like your personality, I guess, or, you know, because everybody, it does have their differences. And it's good because it's what, you know, kind of makes the world go round. We all are a little different. So, oh, you know, the other thing I could have done, I forgot, maybe I'd like this. I'm still thinking, oh my goodness, let me try, because I got these black, these came in with the, and I might like those even better, because those will really show, because they're dark. It just, all of a sudden, it was right kind of in front of me here. I went, oh my gosh, the black sequins that came with the kit. So I think I like those even better. Wow, I do like that because you really can see them. The others you could see, but they just didn't feel quite right. So this is, I think I'm going to leave this just like that. I like that better. You may say, oh no, I like the other better, put them back. And again, as I was saying, we each can do what we want because it is who we are. It's an expression of who we are. So, all right. I did want to put, because these are all kind of fancy, some are fancy, what we call fancy fold, some are just different, different way of doing, a little different way of doing things here. So these are the three I want to put out to show right now as a reminder, because these are the ones I did make up for today. These for ahead of time and this with you watching, okay? So any comments, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate it if you subscribe. And if you like it, give me a thumbs up. Okay. And if you want to be notified of when one of my videos is going live on Facebook or coming on to YouTube, there's a little bell you can click on that and it will give you a reminder. All right. So once again, thank you so much. And until we meet again, happy crafting. Bye-bye.